Welcome back to Visual Book Summary, the channel where we break down classic literature into engaging, bite-sized stories for you. Today, we're diving into a haunting and thought-provoking novella, Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. This powerful story delves into imperialism, the human psyche, and the thin line between civilization and savagery. Grab a drink, sit back, and let's journey into the depths of Conrad's masterpiece. The story begins on a serene evening aboard a yacht called the Nelly, anchored on the River Thames. A group of men waits for the tide to change, and one of them, Charlie Marlowe, starts recounting an unforgettable tale from his past. He takes us back to the days when he was a sailor who ventured deep into the African Congo, a journey that forever changed him. Marlowe, fascinated by Africa since childhood, lands a job as a steamboat captain for a European trading company. The company's goal? Extract ivory from the heart of Africa. However, this mission comes with a heavy price, both for the indigenous people and for the men who seek to conquer the untamed land. Marlowe's journey begins with a grueling 30-day voyage down the African coast. Along the way, he witnesses a French gunboat firing aimlessly into the jungle, a surreal display of imperial madness. When Marlowe finally arrives at the first company station, he's struck by the sheer brutality of colonial exploitation. Enslaved natives, falsely labeled as criminals, are forced to toil under inhumane conditions. The air is thick with despair and decay. At this station, Marlowe hears about a man named Mr. Kurtz, an enigmatic figure stationed deep in the jungle. Kurtz is revered as a genius by some and feared by others. The company sees him as their most valuable agent, sending back more ivory than anyone else. Intrigued and uneasy, Marlowe presses on, determined to meet this mysterious man. Marlowe's journey to the central station is fraught with delays. He discovers that his steamboat has sunk and spends months repairing it. During this time, he meets the station manager, a cold and calculating man, and a brickmaker who seems more interested in scheming than making bricks. Rumors about Kurtz swirl through the station, painting him as both a visionary and a madman. Once the steamboat is fixed, Marlowe's voyage upriver begins. Accompanied by a crew of European agents and African workers, the journey grows increasingly surreal. The river is a living entity, twisting and turning through an oppressive jungle. They pass tribal villages, and Marlowe reflects on the primitive instincts that lie dormant in every human being, regardless of how civilized they claim to be. One day, the crew comes across a small hut with a pile of wood and a mysterious note that reads, "Wood for you. Hurry up. Approach cautiously." Inside the hut, Marlowe finds a book on seamanship, suggesting the former occupant was English. Soon after, the fog thickens, and eerie screams echo from the jungle. Though nothing happens immediately, the tension is palpable. Later, they are attacked by unseen assailants who fire arrows from the dense forest. The helmsman is killed during the chaos, and Marlowe fears Kurtz might also be dead. This thought fills him with regret, as he had been eager to hear Kurtz's ideas firsthand. Finally, the steamer arrives at Kurtz's station. The place is unsettling, with human heads mounted on fence posts as a grotesque warning. Marlowe meets a peculiar Russian trader who speaks of Kurtz with awe, claiming that Kurtz has enlarged his mind. However, it's clear that Kurtz has succumbed to madness, leading a local tribe who worship him like a god. When Kurtz is brought aboard the steamer, he is gravely ill but still clinging to his grandiose visions. He speaks cryptically about his plans and laments being interrupted. Marlowe is both fascinated and repulsed by Kurtz, who embodies the dangers of unchecked ambition and moral decay. As they begin the return journey, Kurtz grows weaker. One night, he delivers his haunting final words, "The horror. The horror." These words resonate deeply with Marlowe, encapsulating the darkness Kurtz saw within himself and the world around him. Shortly after, Kurtz dies. Back in Europe, Marlowe struggles to reintegrate into society. Ordinary life feels trivial compared to the harrowing truths he's witnessed. He meets Kurtz's fiancée, who still idolizes Kurtz. When she asks about his last words, Marlowe lies, telling her that Kurtz's final utterance was her name. Heart of Darkness is more than a tale of imperialism, it's a chilling exploration of humanity's capacity for both greatness and depravity. Conrad's work has sparked debates for over a century, particularly about its portrayal of race and colonialism. While some argue it's a critique of European exploitation, others see it as perpetuating racist stereotypes. Here are 3 fascinating facts about Heart of Darkness and its connection to Apocalypse Now. First, the character of Kurtz in Heart of Darkness inspired Marlon Brando's unforgettable portrayal in Apocalypse Now. While Conrad's Kurtz is a tragic figure driven mad by the jungle and his own ambition, Brando's Kurtz takes this madness to new heights, embodying the horrors of war and the corruption of power in the Vietnam era. Second, the story is partly autobiographical. Joseph Conrad drew heavily on his own experiences in the Congo while working as a steamboat captain in 1890. The horrors he witnessed, brutal treatment of the local population and the unrelenting exploitation of resources, left a profound mark on him. This real-world backdrop gives the novella its haunting authenticity. Third, the iconic phrase, the horror. The horror almost never was. Conrad initially struggled to find the right words to encapsulate Kurtz's final realization. This line has since become one of the most quoted and debated phrases in literature, symbolizing both the personal and collective darkness of humanity. Finally, Heart of Darkness was never intended to be a political statement. While many view it as a scathing critique of imperialism, Conrad himself considered it more of a psychological exploration. However, its complex themes, madness, greed, and the thin veneer of civilization, have sparked debates on colonialism and racism for decades. What do you think? Is Heart of Darkness a profound critique of imperialism, or does it fall short in addressing its own prejudices? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey into Heart of Darkness. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into classic literature. Until next time, happy reading.